Hey guys, this is Roberta. I am one of the owners here at the Roberta Finery in Winter Park, Florida. And this is Isabel. She will be modeling for us today. I'm going to teach you really quickly how to take your measurements if you're ordering a bridesmaid's dress, or if a salon needs your measurements for whatever reason, your wedding dress, or you need any type of measurements to submit to your order. So I'm going to do some basic measurements and show you the best way to do them. So if you have any questions or you need anything, you can comment below and we'll answer. Tally's behind the camera, so she'll answer them for us. She'll let us know what they are. So I just have a measuring tape right here. This one is 60 inches. There is one measurement called hollow to hem, which is basically the length from your the nape of your neck all the way to the floor with your heel. That you would probably need a longer tape measurement depending how tall you are, but I'm going to start with this one and just show you a little bit. Your standard measurements that for bridesmaids dresses they normally ask for is bust, waist, and hip. The measurement that we've always have had people make mistakes on is actually their waist measurement. So just to give you an idea, my belly button is here and my waist is here. Most people, when they do waist measurements, they want to go around their belly button, which in my case, it's a lot fuller than my waist. My waist is relatively small in comparison to my belly button area. So that's the measurement that we've seen a lot of people make mistakes on. So let me go ahead and take you through it. For some dresses, designers do require over bust measurements and under bust measurements. So I will show you those as well as high hip and low hip. So let's get started. I always recommend for taking measurements for you to be in your underwear. Obviously, we're not gonna have Isabel in her underwear here. So we just have a really, really thin slip. But if someone's helping you take your measurements at home, definitely be just in underwear, in a bra, or you can do like board shorts, tight shorts, Spanx, whatever the case may be. But usually just undergarments are the best way to take your measurements. That way you're not adding inches with the fabric. It does add inches. So first one I'm gonna do is her full bust. So keeping her bra on. I always tell people to stand hip width apart. Go ahead and stand, perfect. And then her fullest, turn sideways for me really quick, Isabel. Her fullest bust, we want to make sure that we're going straight across here and we're carrying that tape straight across her back as well. Sometimes what happens is people want to use their bra line as their measurement for the back, and her bra line is up here, but her butt is down here, but her bust line is really up here. So if I take the measurement coming this way, it's going to add a few inches to her bust. And we don't want to add inches to anyone's measurements when I take them away. Okay, so sideways, oh, go ahead and straight. I always ask my clients to raise her arm. I can't see because Tally's right there. And go ahead and put your arm down for me. And then we always ask to put the arm back down. So I'll always try to do it in front of the mirror so I can see it as well. And I want to make sure that my tape is straight all the way around. Turn sideways so I can show. So here you can see clearly the tape is straight all the way across, and then her bra line is all the way down here. One thing we want to try to avoid is pulling the tape, measuring tape so tight that you start seeing indentations in her body like this. So you want to make sure that the tape is nice and relaxed. Sometimes I'll tell my client as well to take a deep breath and kind of let go, and their body just relaxes, and it makes it a little bit easier for us to take an accurate measurement. So I always just use my finger under the tape to hold it, so that way I'm not adding a lot of volume with my full hand underneath the tape, okay? So that is a bust measurement. That's the full bust measurement. And then if we turn again for me, if we want to do, come a little bit more to the middle, perfect, right there. If we want to do over bust, lift up your arm again for me. We want to go right above the fullest part of her, it's pretty much under her armpits is where we're going. And then we carry that tape, I'm going to move her hair to the back right here. So we're going to go right above the fullest part right here. And then we're gonna carry the tape same way, straight all the way across, okay? So straight all the way across, and that is our full bust measurement. Turn again for me, thank you. And then her under bust measurement, this is the one that's tricky, especially if you are fuller chest. This one can get tricky because the cup of the bra, like my wire ends over here, but my bust ends up here. So you wanna make sure, what I always ask people to do is actually lift up their bra for me, and then I go right under their bust. So I would have asked Isabel to lift up her bra, and I would go right underneath it right here. And basically this is her rib cage measurement. And then same thing, you carry that tape all the way to the back, okay? This is under bust measurement. Cool. So her waist, Isabel's waist is very defined. You can see it right here. It comes in right here. On some people, the waist can be a little tricky to find. If you are a little bit straighter throughout your waist, it can be tricky to find. The best way to find the waist, if you're having a hard time, is just put your hand where you think her waist is and ask them to bend to the side. So bend sideways for me. And right where you feel that bend is her waist. Okay, so it'll be right above her hip bone, and it'll be right below her last rib. So above the hip and below the rib. These words are way too close for me. Okay, so now that you've found the waist, same thing. I always grab the tape in the beginning and I carry that part all the way to the back and turn for me. And then we're going to, again, one finger in the back, measure her waist. I'm not gonna tell you what her waist measurement is because it's like non-existent. Kind of makes me not happy right now with my own waist, but you know, that's side note. So there you go, so waist. And again, you always wanna make sure the tape is nice and straight all the way. So on this case, you can kind of see if I pull the tape too much, you see the indentations on the sides right here. And that is not good. That we don't want to do. So this is when I would be like, hey Isabel, take a deep breath for me and let go. There you go. We all tend to, when we stand up, kind of tuck in our stomachs, which is great. I do that on a daily basis. But on this instance, you want to make sure that you take a deep breath and you kind of let go and relax, because the last thing you want is for the dress to come in and not be able to zip right on your waist because it's just a little bit too tight. And that's usually when you see like zippers break and things like that. So I'm gonna do her full hip first, and then I'll show you high hip and low hip. And not every designer requires high hip and low hip measurement. Normally they'll tell you like 4 inches below the waist or 8 inches below the waist, 16 inches below the waist. But I will show you how to do that as well. So her full hip measurement, I'm gonna have her turn, and you will see her full hip measurement is right over here, okay? So we're gonna face the mirror for me again. Thank you. Grab the measuring tape, find that full hip, and then go all the way around. And we wanna make sure that we, again, are not making any sort of indentations on the side, that we are just carrying it straight back, okay? That is her full hip measurement right there. Cool. So sometimes the designer will ask you for high hip and low hip. You would basically find her waist, which is right here. And normally what we do in the store is we use 2 measuring tapes. We keep one measuring tape here. Is there a tape there? Yay. So we'll pin a measuring tape there, and then I will go from here, I'll go 4 inches below. This is Isabel's high hip measurement. And what I do just to make my life easier is I usually turn this way, keep my finger there, and I will carry my tape around to meet it back wherever that point was. And again, we try to make sure that we're not pulling in too much over there, and the tape is straight all the way around, which is not. There we go. Okay, so that's 4 inches. It's usually your high hip. Same thing, we're gonna come back over here to do her low hip measurement, which is usually 16 inches below. Yours is not. We're gonna do 8 inches, some designers will ask for. Same thing, we keep the tape there, and then we come all the way around and make sure there's no indentations here on either side, okay? And then if we want to get her, basically her bottom hip, her low hip measurement, you want to find, turn sideways a little bit, Isabel, very bottom of her bum, basically. I never realized how long Isabel is until I started taking her measurements. And realized how short my frame is. So there you go. Cool. Any questions on bust, waist, hip, just let us know. You can DM us afterwards and ask questions if you're watching it on playback. So step a little bit more this way, Isabel. Perfect. So hollow to hem measurement, you want to make sure that when you take your hollow to hem measurement, you have 2 options. One is do it with your foot flat on the ground. So, and then you would allow for how many ever inches heel you're going to wear, you're going to add that to your measurements. If, let's say, Isabel was going to wear the same exact shoes that she has on right now, lift up her foot so they can see. Perfect, great. So if she's going to wear those heels, we would take the hollow to hem measurements with those heels on there, and we would let the designer know these are the shoes she will be wearing. So you have to start at the top, at the nape of her neck. So we all have this little situation right here, okay? I don't know the right name for this, but it is that really soft part of your neck at the bottom. And then right where your collarbone starts and meet, right here, that's where you want to do your measurement. So you're gonna grab the measuring tape, put it at the nape of the neck, and you're gonna ask your client to hold it tight. So Isabel, you're gonna hold it. This also, if you're wearing an A-line dress, you have to be careful with this measurement. If you're wearing an A-line dress, you want to make sure that you're coming out with the tape a little bit to allow room, hopefully y'all can see it, to allow room for that skirt. And usually hollow to hem measurements, we do it in the dress, that way we have that. So, okay. If it is more of a mermaid or a fitted dress, we'll just go straight down. Make sure your feet are hip width apart and straight, and then we'll go straight down just to the bottom of the floor. And there you go. That's your hollow to hem measurement, which in Isabel's case, it's 58 inches, including her heels. So let's say your hollow to hem measurement was 58, and then your flat foot and you're wanting to wear a 4-inch heel, you would just add and become 62 inches. Hopefully I did my math right.
And make sure the person you're measuring keeps their head straight.
Yes, so when you do hollow to hem measurement, same thing when you're doing your alterations, we always tell our brides, look straight ahead. If you do your hollow to hem measurement and your neck is down, or even just slightly down, it will absolutely alter your measurement. Even 1/4 inch for a hollow to hem, it will make a huge difference when your dress comes in, okay? So when you're doing it, you're having your client hold the tape right there and keep her head nice and straight, pretty neutral, just straight. And then if she goes up, the measurement changed. So let me show you guys. Go ahead and look up. The measurement now became 58.5 inches. It basically went up 1/2 inch just by that slight movement of the head, which is a lot when it comes to, let's say you're ordering a lace dress and that lace hem is a really beautiful eyelash. It can be hemmed after the dress comes in, but it costs a lot to hem that sort of, to do that sort of hem on a dress. A seamstress can charge you anywhere between like $250 to about $450. So if you can save that by getting an accurate hollow to hem measurement, why not? So let me know if you guys have any questions. You can leave comments below, watch it on playback. You can always DM us as well as email us at roberta@thebridalfinery.com. Thank you guys so much.